behind this separation. And what I'm going to say in this paper is that in a nutshell, this extreme climatic event triggered a massive conflict which exposed government failures, which eventually led to both Awami League first winning the elections, Pakistani government responding brutally, and then the rise of independence movement and freedom fighting happening on the side of Bangladesh. So I think given this audience, I won't go too much into the magnitudes, but just to give you an idea that this is a highly empirical paper where we basically try to trace at a very granular level every village where the storm was stronger versus every village where the storm was weaker, and try to look at village by village, constituency by constituency, how the votes for Awami League was doing in that place, and also how the freedom fighters were fighting. So in some sense, this actually uses satellite data, which I'm going to show you just. So there was this NASA commissioned this ETOS-1 satellite, which was operational for only 20 days, and the Bhola cyclone fell in this 20 days. So it's an extremely lucky event that we are able to capture the picture of the Bhola cyclone in the eye of the storm. So we can basically look at a highly granular level, the intensity of the storm, not just at the absolute level, but at region by region level. And that's what we are going to do. And why this storm is fascinating from an empirical point of view is that this Bhola cyclone didn't just happen on the coastal area. It was so strong that it even hit a lot of inland areas. So controlling for, say, the distance to the coast, you can actually look at the causal effect of storm because of the assumption that nature is blind. So if you kind of say, okay, Bhola doesn't, once you control for the distance to the coast, the Bhola cyclone does not care if you are a rich colony or a poor district. You don't care whether you are more political, less political, things which typically cause problems when you just use observed data. This kind of unique natural experiment allow us to kind of really look at the effect of the storm and not confound by things like political dynamics, etc. So that's one thing which I just wanted to go through. The second thing is to give you another thing. So the Bhola cyclone was actually covered by the Western media, and for example, the Times has a nice story on it, which basically talks about this just weeks after the Bhola cyclone, how basically this recounts an incident where out of 3,000 people in a village, only 5,000 survives, for example. So that's how brutal this cyclone was, that it basically substantially eliminated a vast majority of human beings from the face of the planet. So that's how and I think Times really caught that when the demon struck, it really was correct in it. It looks like the darker regions are places where the storm was highest, but is unique about this is that places way inland also was massively hit by the storm, which basically tells a story about the strength of this cyclone. Here you have the votes for Awami League, how the more dense areas. What is interesting is that if you just see these areas, you see that it's not as dark, and these are precisely the places which got aid. So these are places where you didn't have the highest votes for Awami League. What this paper is telling is that the Bhola cyclone played an important role in the formation and the aggregation of Bangladesh, and natural disasters in this way can catalyze social processes and alter the political landscape, not just the economic landscape. And one implication of this research is we should carefully think how natural disasters is going to affect geopolitics and politics going forward, and the role of relief and aid is extremely important if we want to prevent a violent secession movement happening all across the world. So thank you very much for your time.